Hey there, it's Haz here, and today I'll present my second guide for Marooner's Bay, and I'll talk about how to beat the dreaded Glowfly Rush Wave on this map for all ranks, and what are the best practices to do during this night wave, such as how Glowfly waves work, what's the best place to stand at, and what players should do, but also how to use certain specials to gain more from them. I also released another Marooner's Bay guide that gives you 5 tips on how to win more on this specific stage that I do recommend checking it out if you're struggling here, but the channel also has various resources to help you in Salmon Run as a whole. So Glowfly Wave is generally considered the hardest wave you can get next to Grillers, because even the smallest mistake can cost the whole shift and make you lose points. But on top of it all, it's one of the waves that almost always requires the team to use specials even, or it fails. Despite Glowfly waves being a bane of every Salmon runner through all various ranks, it's important to note that there is a massive difference between the difficulties, as the higher your hazard level, the faster Glowfly chums and goldies become, and also a lot more of them spawn, making it the chaos it is in Executive VP. It's also a good idea to practice rush on a lower rank and slowly increase the difficulty as you get better at it. Scenario codes are a perfect way to do this. For us, let's first discuss how the wave works, what teams struggle with, and then I'll show how to counter these problems and where you should always stand. As you can see on this map, there's 2 directions Glowfly waves will arrive from, one from both sides of the ship. This usually confuses most teams and splits them, causing an almost instant team wipe. The trick on Marooner's Bay is to make sure the wave always comes from a single direction, allowing your team to work together and concentrate firepower onto a single direction that helps you keep the rush away. If the targeted player remains next to the basket in the area shown by the red rectangle, it will force the Glowfly rush from both sides to approach from the right bridge. Though with Splatoon 3's new Salmonid wave pattern, they can also cross the bridge from the middle platform, so be careful if you stand there. This is the single most important thing to learn on this map, as it will allow you and your coworkers to only look at one direction instead of splitting into 2. As for the other teammates who are not targeted by the Glowflies, it is important to keep track of time and know when the target switching happens, which depends also on your rank. The higher, the faster the swaps happen. When you're not targeted, it is advised to split to different locations on the sides and do so-called filtering, which is weakening the rush wave as they approach your team, so only a couple of them reach the targeted player instead of the whole wave at once. This is also extremely practical, as usually the whole team is shooting at the same target from the front instead of multiple different targets, or worst case, shooting each other in the back, blocking valuable ink. So getting ahead to the wave and filtering is a very efficient method to weaken them, but if you do this, you have to make sure you're aware of the clock and you can fall back even before a switch happens to prepare for it. For weapons, the single most useful weapon type you can get for Glowfly waves is a roller, and by now hopefully everyone knows the roller slow rolling trick. Every single roller, including the big swig, can one-shot roll through Glowfly chums, as they have less health than a normal wave chum. By holding your roller down and only slightly tilting your move analog forward, you can perform this slow roll technique that uses only 10% of your rolling ink instead, while doing 100% of the damage, making rollers a literal shield that splats Salmonids. So if you get a roller, make sure you do this. Finally, I'd like to give a few tips on how to use specials. Most of the time, players use specials way too late, after coworkers got splatted already, but in reality, the best time to use specials is before anything bad happens. Especially during Glowfly Rush Wave, a good indication on when to use a special is by looking at your own ink tank. And if your ink is getting low, that likely means your coworker's ink is also getting low, so using a special can give everyone a breather instead of causing a panic. My favorite specials for Glowfly Rush are Wavebreaker, Booyah Bomb, and the Inkjet. Wavebreaker, I don't think I have to go into details. If you use it the way I just described, it's the best special to ease the team up a bit, so instead let's talk about the Booyah Bomb and the Inkjet. Both Booyah Bomb and Inkjet should be used somewhat differently during a Glowfly Rush Wave than normally, and it is called stalling. Best time to use them in my opinion is right when you're targeted, as that means you should have around 10 seconds when the wave only attacks you. With a Booyah Bomb, you can just stall in the air until the game reaches the maximum amounts of Salmonids on the stage, and then unleash it. This way you somewhat reset the map and give extra time for your team. Inkjet is also quite similar and super funny, as you don't have to do anything. Inkjet in fact damages under you with your jet on your back, and as the Glowfly chums try to approach you, they will just get splatted under you without you having to move at all. so it's best to stand still while you do this. Both of these techniques stall the wave and give your team a lot of time to recuperate and also collect more golden eggs. Glowfly waves are tough, and there's no shame in losing to them, but they are also a lot better than what you usually see in freelance. It just takes practice and a little bit more planning for everyone. If most players would know these good locations and tricks, they would all be a lot better, especially considering there are still people who don't know about how to use rollers with Glowfly waves, so definitely spread the word and let's get rid of that roller flinging during Glowfly waves. But that's it for my quick guide on how to deal with glowflies on Marooner's Bay. Hope it will help you in the future runs, and if you have any further tips for others, share it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe and check out the rest of my channel for further tips if you like Salmon Run. Thank you for watching everyone, I'll see you the next time.